The desert woke slow like a big cat stretching in the sun. A pale band of light rose over the low hills, and the cold air smelled of dust, mesquite, and iron from the old windmill at the edge of the north fence. Rancher Tom Calder rode out before breakfast like he did most days. His mare's hooves made soft clicks on the hard ground. In the dark, the windmill had looked like a thin cross in the sky. Now it turned lazy circles and squeaked in a friendly way, as if to say the night was over and the work could begin. Tom loved this hour. The world was quiet and honest. The cattle stood like dark stones, and the birds had not yet found their songs. He checked his fence line out of habit. Posts straight, wire tight, gates closed. Nothing strange. Then he saw something new. 3 shapes near the windmill, small as folded blankets. He pulled on the reins and stopped. The mare snorted. Tom blinked against the brightening light. The 3 shapes were not blankets. They were 3 girls lying on the ground, boots off, hands on the soil, faces calm. They were young, maybe late teens to early 20s, with dark hair braided back, clean jeans, clean shirts, and small earbuds in their ears. Their chests rose and fell at the same slow pace. For a moment he thought they were hurt. Then he saw the tiny lights on each earbud blinking in the same rhythm. He felt a quick jump in his chest. He had found lost hikers before. He had found a drunk camper once and a feverish calf more than once. But he had never found 3 sleeping girls with earbuds, palms flat to the earth, like they were saying hello to it in their sleep. He slid off the mare. He kept his hands where they could see them, though their eyes were closed. He did not want to scare anyone. He took off his hat. He crouched a few steps away and spoke in a low voice. "Hey there," he said. "You all right?" The nearest girl opened her eyes. They were clear and dark. She looked up at him, then sat up slow like a person finishing a steady count. The other 2 stirred and woke. All 3 pulled their hands back from the soil and sat cross-legged. They did not scramble or panic. They seemed aware, alert, careful. "Good morning," the nearest girl said. Her voice was soft and steady. "We're okay," Tom nodded. "Name's Tom Calder. This is my windmill. You gave me a little scare." "Sorry," the same girl said. "I'm Maya, this is Lena, this is Tazi. We didn't mean to cause trouble. We asked the land to let us rest here." Tom showed a small smile. It felt strange and good at the same time. "Well, the land says hello. Why here?" Maya looked at the windmill and then at the ground. "This place hums," she said. "We heard it on a map first. Then we heard it in person." Tom glanced at their earbuds. "With those?" "Yes," Lena said. "They help us match breath and count. They also listen. It's a little science and a little music. Nothing secret." "We are learning," Tazi nodded. "We listen for a pattern. We sleep in the pattern. The pattern talks back." Tom rubbed his chin. He had a day's work to do. He also had a good heart and a curious mind. He had run the ranch most of his life. He knew what he knew, and he liked to learn what he did not know. He looked around. The cattle kept a wide circle around the windmill for no clear reason. He had noticed that for months. He had seen compass needles wobble when he checked bearings on his phone out here. He had a drone that showed heat blooms under the soil in a spiral. He had not told anyone because it seemed silly. "What kind of pattern?" he asked. Maya took a breath. "A spiral," she said. "Old, calm, slow. Like water going down a drain but reversed. It rises from below. We think there's a structure under this ground. Not a mine. Not a pipe. Something that holds a shape." Tom felt the small hair on his arms lift. "Underground?" he asked. "Yes," Lena said. "And if someone drills here without care, they could crack it. The water under this ranch could change, maybe the whole valley." Now Tom understood one thing very well. For months, a company called Blue Vista had sent letters about water rights and surveys. Blue Vista people had come with clean trucks and clean boots and said they wanted to study the aquifer. They spoke in bright words that did not settle. Tom had told them to come back with a proper appointment and a proper plan. They did not like that answer. He had not given consent. He also knew that sometimes these companies did not wait for consent. "What are you doing sleeping?" he asked, "and why hands on the soil?" Tazi tapped her earbud case. "We sync our breathing. We sleep at the same time. Our REM sleep matches for a while. The pattern under the ground is slow. If we sleep in sync, it answers. It shows where it is. It is like a door and a key. The key is a calm mind and a team. It is not magic," Lena added. "It is human work. We train, we care. We do no harm." Tom looked at their faces and saw focus, not fake mystery. He saw the kind of care he saw in good neighbors who fixed a fence before asking for thanks. He looked down at their hands. The palms were a little dusty but clean. No marks, no sign of bad choices. He took a breath and nodded. Okay, he said. If you are doing careful work, then the least I can do is help you be safe while you do it. But I need to understand. Who told you to come? Who are your people? We are Apache, Maya said with respect. Our grandmother told us to learn, to study, to listen. We study at school and in the field. We do not take or sell, we share. If this place is what we think, it belongs to the land, and you hold it right now, you should choose what happens. Tom felt the weight of that last sentence in his chest. He looked at the windmill, heard its squeak change as the breeze shifted. He thought of the letters from Blue Vista in his kitchen drawer. He thought of the seasons of drought and the kindness of one wet spring. He thought of his father and mother and their words. Leave a place better than you found it. You said map, he said. Can I see? Maya pulled out a small tablet. She showed a heat map from a drone. Tom recognized the view. His windmill, his fence, the scrub, and the path where he liked to ride. A faint spiral showed under the dirt. He also saw a line of marks that looked like survey points from someone else. We think Blue Vista has been here, Lena said, reading his face. They will come again. We set up early because their drones do morning runs. Tom put his hat back on and looked at the horizon. A low hum reached them. It was not the windmill. It was engine sound, far but coming closer. He knew that note too well. He had heard it on days when a company wanted to push past a gate and see how far they could go, before someone said stop. How long do you need? He asked. Maya glanced at the others. 1 hour would be good, she said. 2 would be great. You'll have what you have, Tom said. Do your work. I will make a little time. He pulled an old blanket from his saddlebag and set it over their shoulders. The morning air still bit at the skin. He clicked his radio on. He spoke to his neighbor, Marta, who had a sense for trouble in a truck with strong tires. Company might be rolling in, he said. I could use a slowdown at the South Road. I'm on it, Marta said. Got muffins in the oven. I can stall anyone with good food, Tom smiled. Bless you. He checked the gate at the East Road and locked it. He shifted his backhoe into the lane and made it look like it had died. He pulled a pin that would make it take a while to start again. He did not break anything. He set the stage like a careful hand in a careful play. Then he walked back, calm but quick. The girls had settled again as he left. Now they were lying with their hands on the soil, earbuds in, breath slow and in sync. The blink of their devices matched like 3 small lighthouses in a row. Tom stood quiet with his mare and watched. The windmill turned. The sound of engines grew, then softened, then grew again like a wave on a flat shore. He kept his eyes on the ground around the girls. He did not know what he expected. He only knew that something was close to showing itself. At first there was nothing. Then the dust near their hands formed a faint pattern, as if tiny grains were choosing places. The pattern was not random. It curved and crossed with easy grace. It looked like a blueprint drawn by wind. Tom stepped closer, slow as a man approaching a skittish colt. The pattern grew brighter, but not with light. It was more like his eyes had learned to see it. Lines formed around the windmill base. They radiated outward and then curled in, marking a spiral that fit the drone map he had seen. The ground gave off a cool feeling as if a shadow had brushed it. Tom felt it in his feet through his boots. Maya's chest rose and fell. Lena's eyebrows twitched in a dream. Tazi's fingers spread a little wider. Tom heard a soft tone like a bell in another room. It hummed through the air and into his skin. It was not loud. It was sure. He spoke into his radio without taking his eyes off the pattern. They are doing something, he said. Good something? Marta asked. Feels like it, he said. The hum in the distance changed. 3 blue trucks came over the rise. They slowed at the sight of his backhoe in the lane. They stopped at the locked gate. A tall person in a clean jacket got out and waved, friendly but firm. Tom did not wave back. He kept his focus on the girls in the windmill. The person called out, Mr. Calder, early bird today. We're right on schedule for our survey. Tom raised his voice just enough. Gate is closed. Survey is not approved. You know the rules. Cool air rose from the open shape at the base of the old windmill. The earth was steady. A soft blue glow traced the lines and circles cut into the hidden door. Tom stood near the 3 cousins, Maya, Lena, and Tazi, and kept his voice quiet and his body calm. On the hill, the Blue Vista trucks idled. The crew watched with wide eyes and held their tools as if they were unsure what hands should do next. The door slid the rest of the way open. Inside was a short passage, smooth and curved like the inside of a shell. The light was gentle and did not hurt the eyes. It came from the walls themselves, not from a bulb. The marks on the surface were simple and beautiful, like river lines and star lines. They were not in any one language. They were the language of place. Maya looked at Tom. He gave a small nod. They all listened. A quiet note hummed, as if someone far below played a long, low string and asked for patience. The cousins put their hands on the rim again. They breathed together, slow and even. The earbuds blinked in time with their breath. The note matched them, then shaped itself to them like a companion who wants to walk at the same pace. The person from Blue Vista took a half step forward and then stopped. They seemed unsure, not angry, not eager, just unsure. Tom lifted one hand in a simple, steady sign, wait. The person waited. The crew waited. Even the windmill seemed to wait. One blade pointed skyward like a careful finger. A new light rose from the passage. It was not blinding. It was warm and soft like dawn. The light gathered into a shape that was not a face and not a machine. It was a presence made of curves and small moving lines. It felt like a good thought. It felt like a welcome. When it spoke, it did not use words. It used tone and rhythm. The cousins listened. Then Maya spoke for it in clear, plain English like a translator for a friend. It says its name is KL1, Maya said. It means earth and home in a way. It was made by people long ago to care for water, soil, and sky. It wakes when it hears human breath in harmony with the land. Tom exhaled. He nodded once. Hello, he said to the light. The tone shifted like a smile you can hear. KL1 sent a small wave through the dirt. A smooth step unfolded at the edge of the doorway. Then another. A safe pathway formed like a slow staircase leading down just a little way. It was an invitation, but not a demand. Lena listened and then spoke. It says we do not have to go far. The heart is close. It also says this place will not harm anyone. It is gentle on purpose, Tazi added. It asks for consent before it shares. 2 kinds of consent. One from the deed holder of this land. One from living caretakers tied to this region by family and work. It needs a promise to keep balance and to share knowledge, not to lock it away. Tom felt the weight of that. But it was a good weight, like a hand on your shoulder when you need it. He looked at the person from Blue Vista. Hear that? He asked. The person cleared their throat. I hear, they said. I am here to do a survey. I am also a person who drinks water and wants a future. We can talk. We will talk, Tom said. After we listen. He turned back to the cousins. I am the deed holder, he said. I will give consent if I understand the promise. The cousins breathed in and out. The light brightened and made a gentle chord. It showed pictures in the air, thin and clear. Not hard images, but soft sketches. The aquifer under the valley. The slow flow that fed it. The small fractures. The dry years. The wet years. And a thin line near the bottom that flickered. Everyone could see it. Even the Blue Vista crew leaned in, silent. It says the aquifer is close to a tipping point, Maya said. Not tomorrow, not next week, but close. It can help if we make changes now. It can help us store rain in many small places, where it will not rush away. It can help us grow shade and call soft clouds along safe paths. It can help us use wind in smarter ways so we lift water only when the land can spare it. Tom thought of his parents' words again. Leave a place better than you found it. He thought of the years when the creek bed was thick with frogs and the years when it was cracked like old paint. He looked at the cousins. He looked at the light. He looked at the Blue Vista trucks. He made a choice that felt simple and right. I consent, he said. I give consent as the deed holder. I promise to use this for balance, not for greed. I promise to share. The light formed a small panel in the air like a page waiting for a name. Tom did not have a pen. He had a calloused finger. He pressed his finger to the panel. It made a soft tone and drew his name plain and clear in a line of light. It did not ask for money. It did not ask for a code. It asked for a person to stand by a promise and mean it. Lena and Tazi spoke together. We consent as living caretakers, they said. We promise to respect the land and share the knowledge with our people and all neighbors who agree to do no harm. A second panel formed. The cousins drew their names and a simple sign that their grandmother had taught them. A small mark that meant, we care for water. The light accepted the marks, and gave a sound like a bell at a distance. The air grew a little cooler. The windmill turned once, slow and smooth. The person from Blue Vista shifted. "What about us?" they asked. "We have a plan to do a full industrial study. We have investors. We have a schedule." Kia-1 answered with a new set of pictures. Tazi spoke kind and clear. "It says this: you can help if you choose. But you must not drill deep here. You must not pound waves into the ground here. This place will not allow it." See? The Blue Vista crew, perhaps out of habit, set a small seismic pinger on the dirt and tapped it on with one finger. A soft pulse moved toward the open passage. Before it reached the edge, the dust near the windmill swirled and formed a small, steady column of air, like a tiny dust devil that did not travel. The pulse bent around it and faded. It did not jump back. It did not break anything. It was simply guided away like rain that meets a careful roof and slides into a safe gutter. The crew member blinked. "That's elegant," he said. "It protects without harm," Lena said. "This is how it works." Tom kept his voice gentle. "You heard the terms," he said to the Blue Vista person. "If you want to be part of this, it will be under an open plan. No closed licenses. No hard lockboxes. We share the designs with the community. We build tools together. We take only what the land can spare and always put back more." The person looked at the open passage, at the cousins, at Tom. The trucks hummed. A bird called once and then was quiet again. The person breathed out slowly. "Let me make a call," they said. "I can ask to pivot. We have machines. We have hands. We can help make things if the plans are open. We can be good neighbors if we are welcome. We can step back if not." "You are welcome if you act in good faith," Tom said. "You can start by turning off that ground thumper and calling your office." They did both at once. They spoke in a low voice on the phone. They used simple words. "Stop the drill plan, pause all pings, come down with coffee and notebooks, not with hard shoes and loud engines." While they spoke, the cousins and Tom took the first gentle steps down the short passage. The space inside was not large. It felt like a round room that had been waiting. In the center hovered a map of the valley made of light and tiny moving points. The map was alive. It showed water moving under the soil, air moving above the ground, and roots and grasses forming a lace of life. It was beautiful and clear. Around the map were simple tools: smooth rings, small rods, flat plates. Everything seemed built for hands, not for fists. The cousins touched nothing at first. They listened again. Kia-1 formed a pattern in the air, like sheet music made of circles and pauses. Maya smiled a little. "It wants a song," she said. "Not a fancy song. A steady one. Breath count, a few notes. It will use our pattern to set new paths for cloud seeds and soil wells. It will not call storms. It will do small, safe actions many times." Tom cleared his throat. "I do not sing pretty," he said. "You do fine," Maya said. "It does not need pretty. It needs honest." They stood in a circle, hands light on the smooth floor, and breathed in time. Maya sang a clear, simple line. Lena joined with a low hum. Tazi added a soft beat by tapping 2 fingers against her palm in a slow, even tick. Tom found a place between them, a thin sound like a reed. The note was small but true. The light in the room turned that song into paths on the map. Tiny arrows formed between dry hills and the thin river that only ran in spring. Small points appeared above fence lines where little shade towers could rise. Rings of light marked places for micro-reservoirs no bigger than a horse trough, linked underground so they would not evaporate. A design for a new windmill head unfolded. A head that could lift water in sips, not gulps, timed with breeze and need. A plan for soil beacons appeared, small devices a child could build, to read moisture and share data to a community board that anyone could see. "Open plans," Tazi said softly. "It will print them to any good machine we bring. It will show them with hand steps. It will teach without pride." Marta arrived in her truck with a big thermos and a basket of warm muffins. She parked by the gate, laughed at the backhoe accident, and waved to the Blue Vista crew. She saw the open passage and the light and went quiet for a long, kind moment. Then she handed out cups and set the basket on the tailgate like a woman setting a table on a holiday. By noon, the Blue Vista office had agreed to pause all drilling in the region and to send a different team. Engineers who could listen and build, not push and take.